orthodontist here. That is a real appliance that we do give patients. And that is because if you have a tongue thrust or a habit that you just can't kick, it can affect the growth and development of your maxillary jaw and your mandible. And what that means is if you're like, let's say you have, you're sucking your thumb or a really bad tongue thrust, what it does over time is it constricts the maxillary bone and makes it smaller. When it makes it smaller, it makes the tongue sit lower in the mouth. When that happens, that affects the growth of a jaw, causes the jaw to grow more down and backwards instead of forward. And then also it can cause a crossbite because the maxillary jaw is not able to expand properly. So we try to fix it while your child is growing because we don't want those issues later on in life. So that is one version. There are also so many other versions. We have this one here that is just like a little bar in the back. We also have this one that kind of like sits down. It's a little bit smaller than the one in the video. And then we have this one, which I've never done and I don't think I would, but it has like these little spikes going backwards here. And all of this is to prevent a bigger problem later on. This is so much better than what could be later on if you do have a habit that you just cannot kick. And then lastly, sometimes what I'll do is put an expander in a child. Sometimes it's almost an airway issue where they just have trouble focusing and maybe they're not getting the proper oxygen and their palate's really constricted. So we put an expander in, then we see if the habit goes away. Sometimes it does. As you expand the palate, the tongue is able to sit higher in the mouth and more oxygen can get to your brain, which can affect learning, habits, and things like that. So sometimes I'll do an expander first and then we just go from there if we need to grab one of these or one of these.